What's happening, guys? Welcome to the April 1st edition of MLC's Pick of the Week. We've got my brother Jake here. I'm Ben, and we're going to throw out some picks at you, so you can tell what we're really looking forward to this week. My first one is Convergence Zero. Now, this is actually a little bit confusing of an issue, I thought. But it's setting up a very large-scale happening with Brainiac. Is actually somehow he's forced himself outside of time and space, and so he's able to kind of like look in on all of the multiverse and kind of pick and choose from things in that.
Yeah, kind of a King feel. I guess since I read another comic with King in it this week, I'm kind of like Yeah. But it was cool. It's yeah, I don't know that it can really tell you exactly what's going on with Convergence. Besides, it's going to be very similar to the Secret Wars thing. They're just putting a bunch of these different. Convergence is where they're putting cities near each other. This is kind of explaining a little bit of what's going on with that. You know, it's classic Brainiac Superman kind of existential questions. Interesting, but most certainly it's not really going to answer many of your questions.
What about you?
I'm going to go with my first pick, Amazing Spider-Man. I've been loving this comic. Spider-Verse was great. I loved all that they did with that, and now you've seen Peter kind of having to pick up the pieces, and he's still dealing with Superior Spider-Man.
Well, he basically had no chance between the end of Superior Spider-Man and then the start of Spider-Verse to really deal with the consequences of everything that Doc Ock had done to his life.
And this Black Cat sub-story is starting to take over, so you've got, she's hired Ghost to start coming after Parker Industries. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Slott is just writing the heck out of that book, man.
What else you got, man?
I have Hickman's Dying in the Dead from Image Comics. The first issue of this was fantastic. Really set up this cool kind of otherworldly, people that have, people that, are more than people but not quite gods, are living inside the earth. And some people can go and talk to them, and they're advanced in ways that we couldn't imagine. And this guy specifically is using their technology to try and cure his wife, but he has to do something for them. And you're starting to figure out what they're making him do.
That sounds interesting. I still haven't read the first one, so I'm going to get on that.
Yeah, you got to give it a shot, man. It's awesome.
Next pick, Inhumans, man. Uncanny Inhumans. Yeah, I feel like you can't go wrong with anything that says Uncanny on it lately. That's not titled X-Men. That's been decent,
pretty much,
but
Charles Soule, Steve McNiven.
The artwork is gorgeous. It's setting up what looks like a really cool story. It's where I was saying earlier with King. So sorry to ruin your villain surprise there, but it's setting up a really cool thing. I think this is gonna lead into Battle World and the Secret Wars at some point.
If you're a Black Bolt fan, this issue is all about Black Bolt. And I am a huge fan, and you get to see him in action a little bit, and he's just going around wrecking house, and also trying to fix him blowing up Adalon, and he's trying to fix stuff with Medusa, trying to find his son. It's very interesting as a character that can't speak, and you have to basically just kind of infer what he's doing.
He's always fun to read. Our joint pick of the week, you can't miss this one. Kanan, I don't know, the last Padawan, whatever. It was awesome. It doesn't matter what you want to call it. It was a really cool intro to these characters. I haven't seen anything of Star Wars Rebels yet.
Not yet.
And I'm typically not that interested in any of this Clone Wars stuff, but this was really good.
It was solid. It takes you back to when he was a kid, back when he was Caleb, and it was really interesting just seeing him being trained and kind of the philosophy of the Jedi being taught to him in the time of war. So it's a peaceful group, the Jedi, but they're teaching him about peace during a time of war. It was very interesting.
It's really cool. I say you gotta get on it. Thanks for checking out our picks of the week. We'll see you guys around the shop.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Later on.